Did you call in? I got to call in real
I
quick.
called it in. Yes. Hey, everybody. Hey, guys. What's up? How you doing? Sorry, we're usually we pop on a couple minutes early, but crazy. Tonight's show. Tell us about your first geocache find. Give us a call tonight, guys. We want to hear about your finds tonight. 808-468-7924. We want to hear about your finds. So I'll let Jesse call in. Go ahead, Jesse.
Working on it.
Sweaty forehead.
What's that, Jay?
Got a glossy forehead.
It's a dog chewing on. What's dog chewing on?
Yeah, I gave them each something to keep them occupied for a little while.
Oh.
We'll see how long it lasts.
Now, give us a call tonight, guys. We want to talk to everybody. Everybody. I want to hear. Tell me about your first cache. Tell me about the first one. All right, I'm starting this. Here we go. Okay, Chad, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
You wanna know how to find it. Seek it out when they hide it. You know it's in the bag when it's an easy grab. But come on, take a chance now. So go, geocache, geocache. And if you need help, we're right there in a flash. If you got a question, just call in and ask. Uncover the stash on the Geocaching Podcast. The Geocaching Podcast.
Welcome, everyone. It's Wednesday. It's 8:30, which means that it is once again time for the Geocaching Podcast. My name's Scott Burks. We have Short Idiots manning the phones tonight. And please welcome to my virtual left, my co-host, Chaz 427.
Howdy, y'all. On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. To go geocaching with my friends. I just can't wait to get on the road again. And if you're not a Willie Nelson fan, then you probably just didn't get that.
I didn't get that at all. Tonight's episode 666, recorded live on May 19th, 2021, is Tell Us About Your first geocache find. Phone lines are open. Give us a call, 808-468-7924. That's 808-GOT-SWAG. And for our international callers, you can call us free via the web at callinstudio.com/GCPC. What's that, Chad?
Because I had the planning a geocaching road trip show notes on. That's why it didn't make any sense.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I got the wrong show notes
You
up.
got the wrong show open. Well done, Chad. Fantastic. That's why that made no sense. Yeah. Well, I guess it's good for next week. There you go.
You got a preview of next week's show intro.
So, guys, Patreon, guys. Hey, guys, costs a lot of money to make this show work. I talk about it every week. There's 2 ways you can help us out. One, you can go to make a one-time payment via PayPal. It's paypal.me/the Geocaching Podcast. Make a one-time donation. Go straight to the bills. Or, Chad, Patreon. Now, the joys of the bonuses of joining Patreon, you get extra video, extra audio, only available to our Patreon members. You get Patreon-only shows. You get stickers and path tags and geocoins. Chad, the coins are out. People are them. The reviews are coming in, Chad. I've been getting reviews all week. Are you ready for these, Chad? These are from random patrons that didn't put their names in. I received my geocoins today. They look and feel great. Love the 3D design, someone says, Chad. Another one says, the coin arrived yesterday and it is beyond amazing. Chad, no, that's not the that's not the Patreon coin. That's the regular coin.
Well, yeah, you're talking about both.
Oh, that's true. Yes. Chris Mackey sent me an email. The coin came in over the weekend and I just opened it this morning. Man, that 3D really came out great. It's nice and heavy and deep, and the earth on the back is just so much higher than I even hoped they would give us. Very, very cool. That's from Chris Mackey, the man who created the coin.
Yeah.
The man who created it. I got one. I just want to report that my patron geocoin package arrived safely here in Ontario, Canada today. It's even more beautiful in person, and the unexpected bonus of the coordinating path tag was a nice surprise. Yes, patrons, if you join the $10 tier, we don't forget about you. You still get the sticker, and you still get the path tag as well as the coin. So she obviously was an $8 up to or a $5 up to 10. She got the path tag. She got the coin. So yeah, you even get the other stuff too.
Oh yeah,
that unexpected path tag from that person. And I got one more here. I just got the patron geocoin in the mail this weekend, and I am in love. I just wanted to say thank you. It is quite the looker, and the detail is astonishing. Chad, Jesse, you are on mute. We don't hear a word you're saying. Oh, she's on the phone apparently. She's talking.
Talking to a caller.
Oh yeah, phone lines are exploding. Sorry guys, I'm thinking Jesse's talking to us. Yeah, phone lines are going crazy. So guys, if still a few coins left, guys. Let me rephrase that. For the patron coins, there's a few coins left. For the regular coins, we bought a bunch of those. We got plenty of those. So you want a regular coin, you go to geocachingpodcast.com/geocoin and you can buy one today or chat. And here. The next round going right here. Look at that. This is the next round of coins, chat.
Awesome.
Next round going out. They're going out soon. They're going out as soon as I can get to the post office. And so we get them in the mail quick. They get in the mail quick. So you can go to geocachingpodcast.com/geocoin, or you become a patron. And aside from the coin, you get extra video, extra audio, only available to our patron members. You get all the good stuff that comes with being a patron. And trust me, you go to that $10 tier, you go to that coin tier, you stay there. Trust me, we're going to be doing a lot more stuff for the $10 tier people. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff, a lot of giveaways, a lot of stuff the other tiers aren't going to get because they're not the platinum tier. So you want to get that platinum tier to get all the good stuff that's coming away. I mean, they're still going to get stuff, but the platinum tier get a little more, Chad. They're going to get a little more for locking in that platinum tier. So you want to join it, you can do that. You go to patreon.com today. That's patreon.com/the Geocaching Podcast.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Come on all day, Chad.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hello.
Back. Hi.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Cachely. Cachely is an advanced geocaching app for iOS that features powerful online features, including filtered searches, offline maps, and offline saving of caches. Cachely has hundreds of advanced features that will make your geocaching experience just that much better. Get more info at cachely.com.
Come on, Chad. Give it to me.
That's CACHLY.com for the...
And tonight we're also sponsored by Logwork. Logwork are the creators of the fantastic logbook made with genuine Write in the Rain paper. This logbook designed for the micro containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who would rather go cache than new cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com, LOGWERK.com.
It's also brought to you by FTF Geocacher Magazine. FTF Geocacher is the magazine for geocachers written by geocachers. With 6 issues a year, FTF offers practical advice, hints and tips, cacher bios and milestones, geocaching events, trail tales, and all things geo-related. Find them at ftfgeocacher.com.
And by the Max Suds Body Company. Max Suds Body Company makes handmade bath and products from all natural oils and butters. Items such as Poison Me Gone soap, itch spray, and 2-cent choices of bug spray. All great for outdoor enthusiasts like geocachers. At Max Suds Body, we have you covered from head to toe. Find them at maxsudsbody.com, MACSUDSBODY.com.
And by Practical Geocaching. Practical Geocaching sells utility items for geocaching. Our items are made in the USA, and we always provide free shipping. Find them at practicalgeocaching.com. That's PRACTICAL, geocaching.com.
And by Arted Crafted. Arted Crafted creates unique geocaching themed tees and custom designs for you or your geocaching group, with adult sizes ranging from small to 5XL. If you have an idea for a shirt design and you can't find it, you've come to the right place. Please give us the opportunity to show you how we can enhance your caching experience with your own custom design. Visit them at artedcrafted.com. That's ARTEDCRAFTED.com.
And finally, by pattags.com. For all your swag and pat tag needs, visit our website to get creative help to trade or log tags, or to purchase your own personalized pat tag. With over 42,000 logs to collect, pattags.com is everything you need to start your pat tag obsession. Visit them at pattags.com. That's PATHTAGS.com.
And as always, Chad, you could find our list of our sponsors on our website or
in our show notes.
In our show notes. I got it there eventually.
Eventually.
All right, Chad. So moving along here, we got an update. Chad.
Ooh.
Update on the
GCPC travel bug race.
The travel bug, only for the listener travel bugs. Really quick, I'm going to do the top 5 here. Ready? Blaze On Signal still leading with over 7,600 miles. 7,600, Chad, on Blaze On. Master Sergeant jumped up 7,000 miles. He's at up 2,000 from last week. I Met Signal Tag 6,700. That's right there on his coattails. Gingerbread Geocache Tag is at 5,800, and the Bugsy is at 4,690. And then one more, Leaping Jackalopes 4,300. 500, and then you take a big deep dive to 2800 for IMET signal. So those got Blazon and Master Sergeant, man. They're hitting some big miles.
Yeah.
Those are huge miles. Oh, Chad. So I don't even know ours. I haven't even looked at ours. So much going on here. So I also want to give kudos tonight. Kudos to let me give a bell there, and maybe even one of these. So to the Pizza Ninja. Hey, Pizza Ninja, I know you're in the chat room. He went out, Chad. He tagged me on Instagram. He went out, hit an ammo can this weekend in the woods. Way to go, pal. Way to make this game a little better. I'm loving it. Guys. If you hide something in the woods, you tag us, you tag GCPC. I think it's GC Podcast. You tag me or Chad on Instagram or Twitter, whatever. We'll see it. I saw it. Pizza. I got you, man. I saw it. Don't worry. Yeah. So appreciate it so much, buddy. Thanks for making the game a lot of fun. Maybe someday I'll even get to go find it. I don't know. Maybe Chad will find it. I don't know. So we thought, man, I appreciate it very much. Chad, we got some emails. I'm just trying to get to this stuff so we can get to the show.
I got mail.
But we do have some emails.
Yay, I got mail.
Chad
Yay.
Nandy108 says, listening to the show on my way into work this morning, and y'all had started to talk about geocaching and flip-flops. I practically do it all the time. The terrain of the geocaches I go after usually aren't that high or adverse to flip-flops, but I can count on one hand when I wish I had different footwear. Some of the stuff I do for seasonal maintenance on what I keep in the car are checking on how well the pens are. I keep in the glove box and make sure they work, making sure I have tweezers for some smaller P&Gs. How the tweezers up in the house instead of staying in the car, I don't know. And I will say I love the little compact dry wet wipes that Jesse mentioned to help clean up. Yeah, those are fantastic. We use those all the time. Yes. So thank you, Nandy108. So Chad.
Yes.
It's time. Chad, we all remember. So guys, we're going in the Wayback Machine. We all remember our first geocache. Chad, your first geocache. What got you into this game? Guys, what spurred the love for this game, Chad? Do you recall? Do you remember vividly? I remember.
Yes,
vividly.
I remember, and I think I mentioned it on the last show that I found it with my Garmin Nuvi. So and I pulled up the cache. It was Grapevine number 7, which I lived in a neighborhood called Greatwood in Sugar Land, Texas, for a long time.
Yes.
And so it was in my neighborhood. And my log says, first geocache log ever. Good location. Surprised at how close my GPS got me to it. And then in parentheses, using Garmin Nuvi 260W until I can buy a handheld, eyeballing the Garmin Oregon 450T, but the cost. This is your first log? That was my first log.
That was your original log? That was your log. That's what you chose to write.
Yes. And within a week, I bought that Garmin Oregon.
You spent your first log debating on buying a GPS. That was your first log.
Buying a handheld, yeah.
Wow. So we had some before I get to the calls, I'm gonna get to a listener. I'm gonna get to an email or two. We got a bunch of stuff from listeners on their first finds. So from hold on, let me get up here. Curiosity Girl, I think she's in Canada. I think my first find was a guardrail cache in March 2017. It was 1,500 feet from my house. I DNF'd it in February because of the snow. When I found it in March, it was in rough shape and no longer magnetic. It was archived 3 months later when the owner moved out of the area. That is what that's what made her fall in love with this game, Chad.
Right.
Yeah, I'm no different. My first hide was a guardrail cache too. Fire Salsa, our friend Fire Salsa. I was introduced to geocaching by my boss at the time. He pestered and raved about it so much that I downloaded the app. Then I pursued pursued my mom to come and help me look. I must be persuaded. Oh, it is persuaded. I'm sorry, my glasses. I then persuaded my mom to come and help me look for one near her house. We found a small Tupperware box hidden behind a fence near a main road. It had a dry logbook and some swag. We were both amazed that such a thing was possible, and I have been hooked ever since. I love that.
Awesome.
I love that.
And that's mum.
Mum. So no, she's from overseas.
Australia, right?
I think so. Yeah. That's a mum right there. So yeah, I love those kind of stories. That's awesome. they could do that. Let me take a call here. We have got our friend from Iowa, Scorpio Red. Hello, sir.
How you doing, Scott?
Mark.
Yes.
Mark, tell
Dad.
me what?
Yes.
Oh, tell me about your first find, your first love.
Well, first off, it was GC2WHHD. It was called 50th Plate, which was off of 50th Street, and it was a plate, an electric plate on a pole, and I couldn't believe that, because I told you the story this was not the first cache I went for. I signed up the 16th of September in 11, but I didn't make this find until the 27th of September. Because remember I told you that story where I went for this cache and the cache description said, if you can't find this, you shouldn't be a geocacher.
Right. Yes.
And so,
Yeah. Hey.
So then I went after this, and I couldn't believe it. And I was like, now every time I look at a telephone pole, I'm going to look to see if there's an electrical plate on it.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you?
Of course.
Absolutely. I would.
And so, yeah, I'll be having my 10-year cache anniversary in September.
Oh, congratulations on that. Sure. I love those.
So,
Well done, sir. All right.
So,
well,
yeah, this was fun. And of course, it's archived. Like,
Of
I
course.
suppose everybody that calls in their first cache. is
if
probably
they're old,
archived.
if they're old school cacher, yeah. I mean, my first one
Yeah.
is archived. Yes. Mine is
I actually 5 months later put a needs archived on it.
No, on your first find, you're horrible.
On my first find.
Shame, Chad.
No. There
Shame.
were multiple DNFs on it, and someone asked me if I would check since I lived right by it, and I went and checked, and sure enough, it wasn't there. And I put a needs archive on it, and I put a new cache out when it got archived.
Oh, there you go. All right, fair enough. All right, I did that too. The cache Jesse and I met at, I did that too. When that cache got archived, I put a cache in the same spot. I did that too. All right, Mark, thanks so much for calling in, buddy. We appreciate it very much. Awesome
Yep,
story.
take
Thank you so
care.
much. All right, be well. Bye.
Bye.
So, Jesse,
Hi.
give me your
My first find.
first find. We all want to hear Jesse's story about Jesse's first find.
So I created my account on May 1st, 2011. I just recently had my 10-year cache anniversary. But I didn't actually find my first cache for a month. And it wasn't for lack of trying. I tried several times. In fact, I remember my mom is the one who told me about it, who had heard about it from her sister, my aunt.
Mhm.
And so I remember my mom and I going to a park and had our phones in front of us with the app open, looking at our phones going, okay, it says 10 feet. Okay, I'm going to walk that way. And so we'd take like 3 steps forward. Okay, now it says 6 feet. And then we'd go, to the left a couple of steps. Okay, we're getting closer. Oh no, now it says it's over there. And so then we'd go walk over there, just staring at our phones, thinking
Not
that
even looking.
thinking that, we would find it when our phone said 0.
Zero.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I just had no clue. And we're like, okay, well, maybe it's not here, and that happened several times over that month.
Okay, have you ever gone back and found that cache? That first one you DNF?
Possibly. That particular one was one of the creepy cache series, and I found a lot of those,
Yeah.
but I don't remember if I did specifically go back and find that one or not. But I did find others in that series. That one might have gotten archived. It might have actually been missing for all I know. I don't know, but I just think it's funny thinking back to it now. We just remember staring at our phones, going, "Why can't we find it?" It's just silly. But that being said, a month after creating my account, I finally found my first one, and I read through the description and thought that I probably knew what it was. And I got there, and sure enough, It was exactly where I thought it was and I thought it was. And it was basically an LPC. It was a different kind. It was the one that has like the four pieces that come off instead of the one skirt that lifts. So it was under one of those four pieces. So, I mean, I just remember sitting there. I sat there on the curb. I signed in. I was so proud of myself. I was all by myself. I found my first one. I was so excited. And then 2 days later, I went out and found 8 more.
Ooh,
So
sure.
yeah, right. I was like, it was a big thing. So I looked at my very first find, which of course is since archived. But I thought I thought this was really cute. This is what's in the description of that cache. I'll read it real quick. It says, just for giggles. Late at night, a geocacher was on his knees beneath a streetlight, evidently looking for something. A passerby, being a good Samaritan, offered to help. What is it you've lost? He asked. My watch, replied the geocacher. It fell off when I tripped over the pavement. So the passerby joined in the search, and after after 15 minutes, there was still no sign of the watch. Where exactly did you trip? Asked the passerby. About half a block up the street, replied the geocacher. Well, then why are you looking for your watch here if you lost it half a block up the street? And the geocacher's response was, well, because the light's a lot better here. Silly story. I thought that was cute.
That was in the cache?
That was the description of the cache, yes. I thought it was a really funny story.
It is. That's good. I like it. Okay.
So I knew that it was there at the street light.
Right, correct.
Right.
Was there a hint on it? Was there an LPC hint?
No, I think it was just the story. I don't think so. I don't know. I just closed the page.
That's all right.
Hint? No hint.
All right. There's a call in the queue, by the way.
I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna take a call. Maine, hello, sir. Maine, we've got Ikidoki. Is that right?
Ikidokai.
Mike, hello, right? You're Mike, right?
Yeah.
You're a first-time caller. I've never had Ikidokai on this show before.
Yeah, I think maybe a couple of years ago.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Well, tell me your story. I'd love to hear it.
Well, up here in Bangor, Maine, my girlfriend comes home and she says her daughter and her were looking for something that was hidden at an abandoned drive-in, and she wanted me to help. So we go down. We were doing paper logs at the time, and we go down, and there seemed to be a lot of places to hide something. So I was asking questions about, well, what size is it? Is there anything special about it? And on the sign that used to be for the drive-in that told you what movies were playing, there was an electrical box where you would turn the lights on and off. And I said to myself, well, that's where I would put something. So I went to open up the box, and the whole box came off in my hand. It had been stuck on there with magnets. And sure enough, opened up the box, and there was the cache and some swag.
Right.
And so from that point on, I was hooked.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That would totally hook me. Yeah. You find a hidden in plain sight one? Oh, my goodness. For that to be your first cache, Chad, is a gift. That is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mine was a freaking guardrail.
Well, mine. So the one that I described there was a 35 millimeter film canister.
He got a hidden in plain sight.
He got a hidden in plain sight. Yeah, that's awesome.
Mike, did everything just stink after that? Was every hide horrible? I feel like, oh, it's just a skirt.
Well, I was very lucky to have so many great cachers in the area that hid some fantastic caches.
Right.
Inside the old tree stumps, inside rocks. So yeah, I wasn't only hooked, but I got hooked hard.
And- okay, and when was this? I'm sorry, did I miss when you said it was?
That was probably back in 2008.
Okay, so you've been caching as long as me, pretty much. Oh, nice. So you've been going,
Yeah,
and
pretty good. I know that one's been archived too because they actually opened up that drive-in.
oh wow, there's a drive-in, an open drive-in by you. Wow,
Yep, they opened it about 5 years ago.
very nice. That's kind of cool. Lucky.
So I got to ask, are there any Stephen King themed geocachers there in Bangor,
Of course
Maine?
there is. Come on, he's in Bangor, Maine.
No,
Are you
absolutely
kidding
not.
me? Who dropped the ball
Yeah,
on
I'm
that? Really? How is there none?
I'm kidding.
Oh
I'm
god!
kidding.
Oh god! I was gonna say I'll drive out there and put some out. I mean, come on. Aren't they all Stephen King themed out in Bangor, Maine?
No, there's a few, but not too many.
Well, hey, Mike, we appreciate the call, buddy. Thanks so much for calling in.
See, I would have
Thanks
to
for
put
having a great show.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. We'll talk soon. Call in again. Don't be a stranger. Be well.
Okay.
Okay, Chad. I'm gonna read one more for you. Okay. From the call from the reader. Hailmeister, Chad. We all know Hailmeister. He's from Illinois. Remember Hailmeister? He's a he's a vlogger. He's got a blog. He says, "Remember my first geocache like it was I remember my first geocache find like it was nearly 12 years ago because it was. I didn't even have a GPS, and smartphone caching wasn't much of a thing quite yet. I did have a smartphone anyway, but that's besides the point. So how did I make a find? It wasn't easy, let me tell you. My first came on GCHTYY, hidden March 2nd, 2004, and it's still active. Before leaving the house to see if I could find it, I studied the satellite map and attempted to locate any landmarks that would aid me in my search. I parked my car where the path crosses the road and made the 500-foot walk through knee-high weeds and grass before arriving at GZ. Not knowing what a regular size container is supposed to look like or how these things were hidden, I started randomly searching in the tall grass, hoping to find something. Alas, it was a DNF. Back at home, I typed up my first DNF log and started to wonder if this was a real thing or have I just been catfished. That's nice. That's awesome. A couple days later, I got an email from the cache owner with encouraging words that pushed me back out to GC for another attempt. Guys, this is why it's so important to nurture the new kids. To if they get a DNF, to shoot them an email and say like, "Come on, man, come back out, try again." This time, I was armed with a better description on what the container looked like and exactly where it was hidden. My life-changing geocaching career was launched. The cache owner isn't active anymore, so I checked on this hide every so often. It is within 10 minutes from my home, and I enjoy keeping its legacy alive. After all, I kind of owe it a debt of gratitude for helping me discover this outdoor activity that has shown me many adventures, taking me to new places, states, and interesting locations, along with helping me meet some of the people I call friends. Thank you, Mr. Hiker, for placing this geocache that has literally enhanced my life. That's nice.
You know, you and Jesse found that cache.
Did we really? Which one is it?
In August, Follow the Flame in August of 2014.
What's it called? Oh, 14. Get out of town.
Follow the Flame.
Jess, follow the flame. Anything? You're on mute, by the way. Anything? Jess? Nothing? No?
I gotta go look it up.
In the meantime, I'm taking a call. We got Turtle Lady, St. Louis. Hello, St. Louis.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Is this your first time calling in, Lynette?
Yes, it is. I watch pretty much every week.
And you don't call in.
This is my first time calling.
Well, thank you for calling in. See, it's not so hard, is it? It's easy. We're friendly. We don't bite.
Nope.
All right. Lynette, tell me about your first find.
So my geocaching account was started in December of 2007.
Okay.
But my husband and I have been out a couple times and never really found anything.
Okay.
I was out with some other friends in January 2014.
Uh-huh.
and we were actually up in Clarksville, Missouri, eagle watching,
Mhm.
and which is like a really good thing to do up there in January,
Mhm.
up by the Lock and Dam. And there's a place up there called Village of the Blue Rose. It's a residential employment facility for adults with developmental delays. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. And it ended up that the weekend that we were there, eagle watching, they had an event with geocaching. I'm assuming it was SLAGA, St. Louis Area Geocaches Association.
Mhm.
And they were having an event, and it was called Super Salad. And there was us, 4 people at our little table, and then the rest of the building was filled with geocachers. And I realized, so I realized what they were doing there, and started talking to some of the people, and they actually took me out onto the building that we were at. Was on the top of the hill, and it overlooked the Missouri River. And they took me out and showed me where. They didn't show me. They made me find it with the hot and cold method, that it was getting warmer or colder.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So that was how I found my first cache.
So,
and
so technically, your first cache was an event, Lynette.
yes.
That's fantastic. That is amazing.
Well, I don't. Yes, I don't know if I actually logged the event.
You didn't log the
but I
event? Are you
remember-
kidding? Oh, you're dropping the ball. Come on.
Unattended event.
I was lucky.
Oh,
I
okay.
was lucky. I knew how to log the cache, so I didn't know about events at the time. I was just happy to find the little tube and the paper inside. So
if I'm understanding, you had 7 years in between creating your account and finding your first cache. Is that correct?
yes, correct.
Okay, Chad, what's your time? Does she get you beat or do you have her beat?
Oh, I was like 4 days.
Oh, somebody we know has a wide. Jesse, your gap's not that big. Your gap is what, like
No,
like 100, like a couple of months, right?
5 days. My bad.
5
Well, so I have that challenge.
Right.
That's where your streak is longer than your slump.
Yeah.
And my streak is 206 days. And that's just a little bit past my slump.
Okay, so she's like 7 years.
Yeah, I
Now-
don't think she's going to qualify for my challenge.
Ever. Never.
Now my slump is 133 days, and my streak is 41. So
41. Okay, so have you continued? So Lynette, have you continuously cached since 2014? Are you a regular cacher?
So regular caching from we found 17 in 2014.
Okay.
We only found 14 between 2015 and 2018.
Okay.
And then in 2000, wait, I lost my numbers. I actually wrote it all down. So we'll be finding, this year we found 230.
Already?
2020.
Wow.
We
Oh,
found
2020.
no, sorry, I had 2020.
Right.
We found 230. And 2021, we found 188.
Oh, nice. So you're creeping up.
And
You're
we
creeping
will-
up on 500, right?
We're creeping up on 600.
Oh, 600.
We'll hit 600 this week. We're leaving
Oh,
on Saturday to go to Las Vegas to
Okay.
drive.
oh, nice.
I
Yeah.
know, we're excited.
Yeah. Are you gonna go do? Are you gonna go do ET or are you just gonna go do the strip?
I'm sorry, say that
Are you
again.
gonna do the ET highway in Vegas or are you just gonna do like the strip and stuff like that?
No, we're just going to do the strip. We've got my mom riding along with us. She's going to be our Muggle navigator photographer.
Right. That's awesome.
And
Have
my
fun.
husband and I have been doing it now, and that's what we plan on doing when we retire. Is just we've met some great people, wonderful friends, lots of people that help. So
Yeah, that's
it's
fantastic.
been a lot of fun.
I love it. Thank you so much for calling in, Turtle Lady. You're awesome.
Thanks.
Thank
Keep
you.
up the great work
Thank you.
and awesome geocoin.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, we'll talk soon. Be well.
Bye.
Right. So Chad,
Mm-hmm.
my first cache, Chad. My first cache was, as I said, it was. I gotta go to it. Here we go. I signed up. Well, let me start this. I signed up on 7/24/2008, Chad, and had 2 DNFs immediately. Boom. The closest cache to my house at the time, okay,
Mm-hmm.
was an I See It, a friend of the show. I See It. It was a freaking projection cache, Chad. I had no idea what a projection cache was. So I'm looking all over for this thing. Didn't find it. DNF. Next, I go to a cache called Spock's Prairie. Okay, it's in prairie grass with a fence. I don't know where this thing is. Where do you think it was, Chad? It's a chain link fence and nothing else there. Where is the cache? That's right. That's right. I didn't know.
So for those who can't see the video, I was showing the removal of the cap from the fence post.
From the chain link fence. I didn't know at the time. Chad, I must have spent an hour and a half there. Okay, I must have spent an hour. There. Found nothing. Frustrated beyond belief. Finally, the next cache I choose the next day, mind you, I go to Commuter Cache, Buffalo Grove, and I find a cache, Chad. I find it. It was a key, a magnetic key holder on a guardrail. Inside was a log and a little rubber gecko. I remember what was inside of it, and I was in love. I thought this, and you got to remember, guys, this was way before the geocaching app. So this was the only app out at the time was Go for Light. Some of you old schoolers might remember Go for Light if you had an iPhone. And I didn't find that until I was like 30 caches in. So I was literally just typing the coords into my Apple map, my map app on Apple, or maybe even Google Maps on the internet, and literally blue dot, red dot, have a meet. That was how I cached my first 30 to 40 caches.
Wow.
And just to find that was so freaking cool. I was totally hooked. I've cached for days. I mean, I had a huge streak after that.
How long was it before you purchased a dedicated GPS?
I did not find a dedicated GPS, like an actual GPSR. For Father's Day 2009 is when I got that. So it was a while. I started in July. Father's Day is in what, June? So almost a year before I got a GPSR.
All right.
So I found 2 other caches that day, Chad. 2 others the same day. I found one with Toby, and it was a cache in a pine tree. And it's so cute. My log says I'm with my 3-year-old. Toby's now 16 years old. I'm with found it with my 3-year-old is what I said. And I found a bridge cache over water. Jesse, you know this cache. I had to lay on my stomach and reach down to get the magnetic Altoids tin under the bridge. The one by your son's school, Jess.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I remember that one. So yeah. So I actually found it. How on my 3rd find, I found this hard hide. I couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't believe I found it.
Because when you're a new cacher, you look at things differently than we do. We're trained to look in certain ways and certain, you know what I mean? If you don't know what you're looking for, you don't know where to look.
Yeah.
Or how to look.
So the first cache I ever went for in DNF was called the BG Airport, Buffalo Grove Airport by I See It. I found that cache 2 days later, Chad. I figured out how to do a projection.
Mm-hmm.
I figured out how to do a projection. And Spock's Prairie I found 6 days later. I went back, got that one 6 days later. And Chad, for the official record, my first 10 finds, only one remains active, and that's Spock's Prairie. Of my first 25 finds, only 3 remain active.
So of my first 10, 2 are active. One I remember because it was my first LPC.
Right.
What was nuts about Tiptoe? I'm trying to remember what that one was. Let me
Tiptoe.
look at the map. That was the other one that's not archived. I gotta pull up a satellite view.
Of what? Of you?
Oh, that one was a fake bolt on a utility.
You found a fake bolt on it? Really?
On a utility, and that was cache number.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's impressive. I would never would have found that.
Oh, it was obviously a different sized bolt than all the rest. I was like, "What's this?" I mean, when I say fake bolt, most of the bolts were maybe 9/16 inch diameter. This thing was about 2-inch diameter bolt. It
Oh.
didn't belong there.
Oh, so it's clearly one of these is not like the others, kind of thing.
Yeah, clearly.
All right. Fair enough. Hey, we've got Utah Goblin Camper. I love that name. Goblin Camper. Hello there.
Yeah.
Hey, Spencer. How you doing,
Hello.
buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Tell me about your first find.
Okay, we created our account back in May of 2006 and didn't find our first cache until March 2008, which was actually on Easter Sunday. And we went up to Bountiful to spend time with my wife's brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to find a couple geocaches in Bountiful. And we actually found one in a park and it was called Out of the Park. And it's been it was archived back in 2009, so it's been archived for quite a while now. But and what intrigued me about geocaching was when we found that cache and there was a little toy engine in the cache. It was fun because I like model trains and model railroads. So it kind of intrigued me to find that little toy train in the cache. And that's what got me started geocaching.
Wow.
And we've been geocaching ever since then.
So since 2008?
In fact.
Is that 2008,
yes,
correct?
2008.
Okay.
And in May of 2008, we made a trip down to Las Vegas, and we found a special memory cache at that wedding chapel.
Right. Yes.
I don't know if you've ever been to Vegas or not, but that's one of the highly favorited caches in Vegas.
I've been to Vegas. I've never cached Vegas. I've been to Vegas before caching. I haven't been there since I've cached. But no, I've heard of that cache. I've heard of that one. Yes. Nice.
So yeah, we've been caching since 2008.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's fantastic. I love a good. All right. Goblin Camper, thank you so much, buddy. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for sharing your story.
All right.
Love it.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Be well.
All right. Bye.
Anybody else want to call in? Give us a call, 808-468-7924. Tell us your first story. We want to hear it. Give us a call, 808-GOT-SWAG. Give us a call. In the meantime, Chad, let's move along. Blaze on, Chad. The cache Blaze on says, not believing anyone would believe we found a box in the woods with just numbers. I filmed our first hunt 20 years ago. He actually filmed it, and I've got a YouTube link. I'm not going to share because it's just video. How? What do you mean how? It was.
I said wow.
Oh, they said how?
No, I said wow. No,
like, we're not that old. That's
20 years ago. Sure, you could record it.
Yeah. So he actually it links in the show notes if you guys want to see the video. Jesse, it reminds me of your dad's videos.
Oh, fantastic!
Because there's no voices, it's just music.
That's great. Yeah.
70s music.
He probably used the same company as my dad to
probably
transfer
did.
everything over. No, I'm just kidding.
Transferred everything over. I know. So that's fantastic. What a gift to be able to, because the fact that they actually videoed it because they didn't think anyone would believe that they found something in the woods with just numbers, and the fact that they actually have a video of it, of your first find, is amazing. That's like one of those.
That's amazing.
Rare thing. That's like having a picture or a video of your first date. You know, it's like who does? No one does that. You know, how it's rare to have a picture from your first date. You know, but like, I guess now with the camera.
Now
I was going to say you think. Yeah.
But when we were our
first date. What?
Yeah, our first dates, nobody had pictures of, but today everyone has pictures of.
Even Jesse and I, we didn't have a picture. There was Apple phones, but we have. I think the earliest picture we have was like a couple of weeks, and no, like a month.
Yeah, but the selfie really hadn't become a major thing, probably by then.
Jesse's thinking about something. What are you thinking about, Jess?
I'm trying to remember what we did on our first date. We went out to dinner. No, I'm trying to remember what. No, we went out to dinner and we went caching.
Right, but
that was our first date. We didn't take any pictures.
No. First picture we have is the one in our fridge. It's the first picture we have of us. Yeah, it was taken at my dad's birthday party.
That was right.
That was
January.
Our first date was in December. Yeah.
Right.
Like a month later. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hey, I have I figured out why neither one of us remember Hailmeister's first find, because it was one of many 60 something that we found that day on along a bike path. We went out with a
Oh.
group of people, including Hailmeister that day.
Including Monster. Yeah.
Yeah, and this one was one that was along the path. And I just want to read Scott's log.
Oh no. wait. When did I write this? What year did I write this?
August of 2014.
Okay, I didn't write much.
Here is Scott's log, and it was probably copy and paste on every single cache that we found that day.
Yes, of course it was.
You ready?
I can guess. I'll let you read.
Okay, what's your guess? I don't think you're going to get it right.
You don't think I'm going to get it right? I'm going to put out caching with buddies. This was in our way. Thanks for the hide.
No, your log, Scott, says caching is fun. Wee.
That's legit my log?
Yes.
That is your log.
Okay, what is your log?
My log is I had been eyeing this trail for a while and finally had a free day to plan to head out for it. I was accompanied by Scott Burks, MGB, S. Goss, Dingbat Cacher, and the CO himself, Hailmeister.
That trip. Yeah, that was a good trip.
We found a total of 61 caches along the trail and stopped for lunch in Pecatonica before the long, hot ride back to the cars in Winnebago. Thanks to the enjoyable company and a fantastic series, this was another memorable day. Most logs were signed as TMR and or replaced at the CO's request.
Okay, what was my log?
Caching is fun. Wee.
That's a t-shirt right there. Look for that in the store in the upcoming future, guys. Caching is fun. Wee.
Oh boy.
That'll be in the store in about a week and a half. Yes. That's a good one. Thank you for sharing that one with me. I don't remember writing that. I bet you I copy and pasted that on all the logs that day.
Oh, absolutely. You did that.
Yeah, I don't remember who I would joke with that. That crowd's not really my kind of joking around crowd. It's like a Cody crowd. So I don't know who I would have. Maybe you. I don't know.
I don't know. That was a fun day though. Caching was fun that day.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. So
it was hot. I remember it was real hot.
It was real hot. Oh, I remember it being hot that day too. Yes. Okay, we got Sims Quest sent us an email, Chad. Sims Quest says, my first find was May 23rd, 2008. I was a Girl Scout leader, and even though there was not a badge for geocaching at the time, I had read about the hobby somewhere and thought it would be a fun activity for the girls. I got a Garmin E-Trex, I think, for my birthday earlier that month and started to play around with it. My first find was GC10QR1, Scott's Cove. Hey. It is located in a wooded reservoir area, walking distance from my house in Maryland. Jess, Maryland.
Yep.
It is a nice spot for kayaking and picnicking. The trails in the woods have never been used a lot and are not maintained very well. I dragged my kids, who were 8 and 11 at the time, out for a walk to look for it. It took a while, but we found our first ammo can in the woods. All right, there you go. It was a fun find. I never did find any with the Scouts. We tried on a camping trip, but I didn't really know what I was doing, and the girls didn't have the patience for the hunt. They wanted instant gratification, and millennials, and the kind you got from burnt marshmallows, not geocaching. I cached occasionally for the next 9 years, mostly just on family vacations. In September 2017, my youngest went off to college, and with an empty nest, I started to do a little more caching. I met some great local cachers who introduced me to different aspects of the game. At that time, I began to get hooked. In December 2017, I had my first find on a watch list and noticed that it had gone missing, and the cache owner was no longer active. I reached out to him, and fortunately, he responded, and I was able to adopt it from him. Wow. So my first geocaching find is also, Chad, my first geocaching hide. That's crazy.
That's crazy, yeah.
Within a month of replacing the missing cache in a great ammo can, the ammo can was stolen and the contents strewn about. Well, learned my lesson and replaced it with an old water jug from the kids' soccer days. It has been fine ever since. It is not found very often, and the overgrowth is a bear, especially in the summer, but it is now a 13-year-old cache, and I hope to keep it going. I enjoy your show, and Chad, I am loving the patron coin.
Awesome.
Thank you, Sims Quest. That's a good story. So her first find turned into her first geocaching find. I love that. That's awesome. I love that. Oh, here we go. We got California, GSM times 2. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, sir. How are you?
I am flourishing. Things are going fantastic.
Oh, good. Good to hear.
So our first find actually was the first one that I officially found. The first finds were on a hike where we were introduced to geocaching because my wife knew about it and saw a guy with a GPS and he just took us, but we never logged those. So this has been kind of fun going back and finding my first log. And this was in Harbor View. It was like a little lock and lock hidden in rocks by a jetty. And it was hard. So and I didn't remember all of this. This was my first official cache. Probably would have been a DNF, except GeoEgo stopped by and looked in the place that GWiz, my wife, and I had gazed into at least 6 times. This place rocks. Thanks for the hide and a nice view. And that was November 7th, 2004.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah. So, yep. And then GeoEgo has found 4 caches. Ohio GWiz has found 37, and I have a lot more than that.
That's amazing. So you're the only one who kept going, huh?
I'm the only one that kept going. Yep.
That's funny.
And not getting anywhere near stopping, my friend. Not at all.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Definitely
No,
not.
me neither. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, I'm too close to 20,000. I at least got to get there. Then I'll reevaluate. Yeah. But right now, I'm at like 19,073. I can't stop it there. I got to keep going. I have no choice. So
just have to read this. This is last night. I'm getting ready to head for bed, and I get in a little message chat about geocaching with somebody who's a fairly new geocacher.
Mm-hmm.
And she finishes with this. She says, "And again, thank you for what you do. It's brought some serious smiles to my kids and me during these trying times. We started recently, and I just don't want to people just yet. And this is the greatest gift. Thank you 1,000 times."
That's awesome.
Isn't
That's
that
fantastic.
Isn't that a great way to? I woke up to that this morning.
Oh, that's how you start.
And I'm like, wow.
That's how you
just
start.
Brought a smile to my face.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it is. It's amazing how many people started. We're COVID. We call COVID cachers is what we call them. Doing it because that was really the only option in 2020. To do with your kids and to get out and to get some fresh air. Something to do.
So for all those thousands who started and then got out, it's nice. I know 3 people who are COVID cachers who are just absolutely great geocachers now.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great email. Yep. I love it. That's fantastic.
It was. Yeah. All right, you kids take care. Have a good show.
Thank you so much, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your call.
Bye-bye.
So Chad, here's my first log. Jess, did you give your first log, Jess? Your actual first log?
No, I think I just closed it. No, I can open the cache page again though.
Here's my first log, Chad. You ready? This is literally my first log. I'm like, okay. It says
TFTC.
No, not at all. No. Earlier in my career, I actually wrote logs. I was great. I was really good about it. This one says found. It says found this one today. My first cache! Exclamation point. Relatively easy to get to and find. I say that after I DNF the last 3, the first 3. Signed the log and played with the gecko. That's all I wrote. And I'll give you a nice little
hey now
for that. That was my first log. Yeah, see, Leah says I want a t-shirt that says geocaching is fun. Oh, Leah, you're gonna get one. Don't you worry. You're gonna get one. It's gonna happen.
Oh boy.
I may even make one that says signed the log and played with the gecko. I may make that one too. But you'll definitely get a geocaching is fun t-shirt, I promise. Absolutely.
My first
forgot about that.
My first log is my very first cache! exclamation point.
That's it.
That's it.
My very first cache.
Yep. That's it. I didn't know what to write, I guess.
You missed it, Jesse. Chad spent his first log debating on which kind of garment to buy.
But I did say that was my very first geocache find.
That's his first log. I may get this garment. I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
It's like I found it with my newbie. It's like and really need a handheld. If you ever find one with a newbie, I mean, you can't like zoom in. You don't have you can't zoom in like and it doesn't tell you how many feet you are away from things, and
yeah.
So it's like.
Yeah, what time is it? Oh, it's 9:26. All right, guys. That's about it for the show. I think we're a little early because I read through all of them. I think I've read through all of them. I have Sims Quest. Yeah. Anything else, Chet? So, guys, the beauty about let me wrap this up. The beauty about the first find is that we all have the first find. We all get it. We all have that experience, and obviously it turns us into cachers. We don't do it for a living, but we cache pretty regularly. It's part of our lives. And it started with a simple one cache. And that cache is always so special to everybody. At least I think so. It is to me anyway. Jess, do you care about the first find that you have?
Do I care about it?
I mean, like, is it special to you? Your first find?
Well, it's memorable, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
you don't forget. You don't forget Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, and not only do I remember my very first find, but then I remember my first of each different type of find.
Oh, really?
So within my first 50 finds, I did find a virtual, which I thought was amazing at the time that I didn't even find anything and I got a find, what I'm saying? And that was Cloudgate the Bean in the city.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And then after I met Scott, and we did a ton of caching together because I lived in an area he really hadn't cached. And so he would come out by me and we would just hit we would just go
Didn't
out
I
and
double
find
your numbers in one outing?
50, 60, 70 in a night easily.
The first time we went out, didn't I double your numbers?
Oh, easily. But one night with him, one of our first nights caching, I found my first multi. My first puzzle.
I remember that multi. I remember your first multi. That was the one by the school.
My first multi was one in St. Charles. It was part of a series.
Oh, I thought it was the school one.
No, and then that was a puzzle. That was the puzzle, the benchmark one. And I remember watching Scott scribbling down, the math, the calculations on how to find those new coordinates, and I was just amazed, like, oh my God, it was magic to me to see these numbers appear. And then that's where the find was. Like, it was really eye-opening. Like it just opened up so much for me. Right. And then I also found my first earth cache that night.
Which one was that one? Was that the one by the water?
That was the one by the water in St. Charles.
I remember that. Yes, I do.
Yeah. So, all of a sudden, like geocaching just got so much bigger for me. Like, so.
Yeah, I remember my first event was oh God, what was the name of the series? We'll Cache for Food. It was it was a monthly one in Sugarland. My first multi was Sugarland Safari. My first letterbox. It had to do with the luck of the Irish. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was 4-leaf clover was the stamp. Mm-hmm. My first earth cache was a oxbow, and I think it was called oxbow. And just all these, it's like vivid memories of each of my first types.
I remember my first multi was Halloween Haunts, which is still active. It's over. It's in Vernon Hills. My first puzzle I think was BG Airport. Oh yeah, it was BG Airport because that was a projection.
Yeah, so you went back and found it.
I figured it out. Yeah,
figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then so that's puzzle. That's multi. My first. I remember my first event. That's where I met Wheels 00.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my first event.
You remember my first event?
I remember your first event.
My first event was Cabin Fever, which was a huge annual event around here back in 2013. And we're not gonna talk about that, Scott. But what we are gonna talk about is how amazed I was, because up until that
Yeah.
point, like, I didn't even really realize that that cachers knew each other, right? And so when Scott
Let alone get together.
right, exactly. Scott's like, "Oh, there's this big event coming up. I'm going to take you and I'll introduce you to people." And I was like, "Wait, like, you guys all know each other?" It just
Yeah.
it totally blew my mind.
Well, my first puzzle led me to my first event.
Really?
This puzzle was about it had a bunch of links to a bunch of different other websites, and you had to figure out different things, what's going on, and figure out what the URL is, or stuff like that. Or maybe it's a hidden click on a point, or and it took you a fair amount of ways. And then after I solved it, I wrote up a big long thing. I started doing the second one of his, but I needed help, and so I sent him an email or a message and asked him, "Hey, it's like, I solved this one over here, so I understand a bit what's going on. Your other one over here, I'm kind of stuck." And then so he helped me out, and he said, "Hey, we've got an event coming up next Monday. Here, it's like, why don't you join us for the geocaching event? We'll cache for food." I forget what number it was, but and so went to that first event, and
Oh, nice. So you got invited by the event.
yeah, basically got invited. And since then, when people have asked me about stuff or needed help or hints as to where they were located and their new cachers and stuff, I always try to encourage them to go to local events.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to talk. I don't want to go too much into events right now, because someone actually said you should do a show on first events as well.
Yeah,
That's an interesting topic. But yeah, that is scary going. I went to my first event by myself.
Right. And you're looking around, it's like, okay,
everybody knows each other, and you don't know
who are the geocachers?
Yeah,
where am I supposed to go?
It's like, am I supposed to be? Luckily, mine was in a park, so I knew the group of people was. It's not good. It was heaven forbid it's at a restaurant. I don't know how you people do that, like a first time event at a restaurant, But yeah, my first one I went by myself, and it was pretty scary. I'm tough to shake, to scare. But even that was overwhelming, because you're walking into a situation you don't know anybody, and from a place where it was funny, because I always thought geocaching was this thing. People put them out, obviously, but I never met another cacher. It took me 6 months to meet somebody else who did it, and that was I See It. So I knew people put them out because I was finding them, but they were these weird people who I didn't know. Like Shazam Man, like Walt was like, "Ooh, who's this guy? He puts out really cool caches. I wonder who he is." Who knew I'd be doing a podcast with him for 4 years. But
Well, mine was at a sit down burger joint called Beck's Prime. And so, you got outdoor seating and indoor seating and stuff. And I'm going through there, and I haven't a clue as to who the geocachers are, and that kind of stuff. And I'm kind of like looking around, and anyways, we'll talk about that on the show. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's, I props to people who go by themselves. It is, it's not easy. I know. And it's, you don't see too many these days. Jess, we don't, occasionally we'll see somebody, a new face, a new cacher at an event, who doesn't know anybody, it's a rarity these days.
Right. And when I was hosting them, I would specifically look and make sure, see if there's anyone who's kind of like looking a little bit confused, separating themselves out. And it's like, "Hey, are you a geocacher? You here for the event? Come on over. Let's talk."
Right.
And try to make sure you include them. It's like, we don't bite.
That's true. But that being said, it's also the new cacher's responsibility to introduce themselves. we went to an event one time, and there was a new cacher who came in, and I think it might have been a couple, and they sat there, and there were two people sitting at the table, and they sat there, and then the next day I like heard rumblings that these people were all upset because it was their first event and nobody came over to say hi and welcome them and introduce them, and
Right.
and
It's hard for us to realize that you're not just there at the location,
right.
and you're a cashier, and there's been many times, and I try to make sure that it's hard for some people to kind of step up and introduce themselves, and I try to make that.
I wasn't going to say it, Jess, but if you're going to do it, I'll tell you.
I try to make that step forward for them, and many times I have talked to other people that weren't there for the event, and actually several of them became cashiers later because of it.
Oh, really? The best part of my first event, there's pictures. There's pictures. Yeah, I'm in them. Yes.
Awesome.
We'll talk about that another day. All right, Chad. Next.
Yeah, we got to do a show on first events for sure.
All right. I'll make a note of it. Next week, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go to my show notes. Next week, we are diving into the Jesse Brown wheelhouse.
Okay.
Yes.
Next week's show, planning a geocaching road trip.
Woo-hoo.
Guys, summer's coming. Megas are coming. Megas are here. Who are we kidding? Coming. Megas are here. The mask mandate is lifted. Some places. People are
regionally.
Shots. Some people.
So
What?
does my butchering of a Willie Nelson song?
You can do it again next week.
Make a little bit more. I will be doing it again next week, but does it make a little bit more sense now?
We look at this as a rehearsal, Chad. How's that? It was a rehearsal.
Exactly.
Planning a geocaching road trip. That's next week. We're going to learn tricks and all that stuff about how to plan a road trip. Jesse is the king, not even the queen. She's the freaking king of planning geocaching road trips. So you all think you might be better than Jesse.
I'm the king.
You're not better than Jesse. You think you're better than Jesse. You're not better than
Could you imagine Chad and I planning a road trip together?
Could you imagine better? I said she's the queen. I'm the king.
Could you imagine us planning a trip together, Chad?
I know.
Oh,
it would be like the ultimate road trip.
Exactly.
Jesse is the king of the geocaching road trip. So we're going to get some tips and tricks next week, guys, for planning a geocaching road trip, how we can help you out. So I look forward to that show. And so, guys, you're going to learn something next week. So it's a learning show next week, guys. It's going to be fun. We're going to learn some stuff. So what does that say? Geocaching road. Okay. Okay.
I'm singing that to the holiday road. Right?
The vacation movie.
From Vacation. That's how I sang that in my head. I think that's how he meant it.
So planning a geocaching road trip. That's what's next week, guys. Thanks everybody who called in. Thanks everybody who shot us emails. We really appreciate it. I love hearing about you guys' first geocache finds. It's always a special find. So thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Chad. And guys, we will. I got to go to Champaign this weekend, so no show anyway. So we would talk to you guys next Wednesday. We got to have a Saturday show for the patrons. Maybe we'll do that next weekend. Maybe a patron show. Chad, patron show. Patron show, maybe. We'll see.
Next weekend?
No, not this coming. The weekend after.
That's Memorial Day weekend.
Oh no, we can't do it that weekend.
We're busy.
No, we're busy. All right, guys. We'll figure it out.
So
we'll see you guys next weekend. Be well and be safe, kids. And here we go. Come on. Sorry. Please join us again every Wednesday night at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central as we stream live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on our website, geocachingpodcast.com. The archive video versions of our podcasts are available on your website or on our YouTube channel, and the audio versions are available on your favorite podcatcher. If you like the show, please head over to Apple Podcasts and rate, review, and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it, and it really helps the show when you do. If you prefer to watch the show, make sure you click the subscribe or get notified button to know exactly when we go live. And hey, if you haven't already, please consider becoming a patron for our show. With tiers starting as low as $3, you get a ton of additional information, extra video, extra audio, only available to our patron members. Just head over to patreon.com today and subscribe. That's patreon.com/the Geocaching Podcast. Thanks once again to our sponsors, Cachly, Logworks, FDF Geocacher Magazine, Max Sense Body Company, Practical Geocaching, Arted Crafted, and PathX.com. Please visit our sponsors, and when you make a purchase, you tell them the GCPC sent you. That's all we got this week. We'll see you next week. Talking geocaching, taking your phone calls. In the meantime, be good, be safe, hug your loved ones. We will talk to you guys next week. Clear. Oh, clear. Now we're clear. All right. Thanks everybody who called in tonight. Really appreciate it. Good job, guys. We love it. All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys next week. Be well and be safe, guys. Is Moga this coming weekend? When's Moga? Is Moga Memorial Day weekend?
It might be Memorial Day weekend.
Okay. Geocaching is fun, Jess.
We. It should say the Geocaching Podcast is fun. We.
Oh yeah. Okay, guys. Should it be geocaching is fun? No, but then we're promoting ourselves.
I know.
Maybe we could do 2 shirts. We can go geocaching for just people who don't want to promote the show, and then we could do geocaching podcast is fun. Though it should be the Geocaching Podcast because it's what did I say? Geocaching is fun. Is that what I said?
Geocaching is fun.
It's fun.
We.
That's ridiculous. I'm sure I'm almost positive you probably rolled your eyes when you read that the first time you read that.
Tonight might have been the first time I read it. I don't know. I mean, it's better than Yum Thanks.
Yum Thanks, guys, is my staple for every time I go to an event. My log is Yum Thanks. That's my that's my staple. Yeah, check. You don't believe me? Go to my profile. Look at my events.
I believe you.
Whether there's food there or not, that is his log.
I'm looking at my photos from our the photos from our first event, and I can tell you this much: I've gotten a lot grayer since then.
Yeah, what happens? It does happen. Yeah. All right, guys. Be well, be safe. We'll talk to you guys next week. So be well. All right. Bye-bye.